Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction and discussion video for the 19th episode of Season 3 of Babylon 5 called Grey 17 is Missing. Last time we saw Lita looking for answers after what happened to Kosh. The new Vorlon ambassador arrived at the station and wanted to be called Kosh as well, but he seemed to have a slightly different temperament to the previous ambassador. Stephen was on a walkabout around the station trying to find himself. He found himself in a bar and was enamoured by the singer. John wanted the War Council to perform a test. He wanted to send some ships against the Shadows with some telepaths on them so that they could see if they could be used as a weapon against the Shadows. Unfortunately, the League of Non-Aligned Worlds and the Narn didn't want to send their dwindling resources up against the Shadows. The singer and Stephen shared some alone time together. With Lita's help, the White Star took on a shadow ship and won. Whilst he was asleep, the singer took Stephen's identicard. 4 more shadow ships turned up and a Minbari cruiser tried to help, but one of the shadows got through and went after the White Star. After a few words from Garibaldi, G'Kar managed to mobilize a small fleet of ships and came in to join the fight. This caused the remaining shadow ships to retreat, which gave everyone a huge boost. The doctor found the woman passed out on her floor with some drugs next to her that she'd got using his card. In medbay, he found out that she was seriously ill and needed the drugs to cope with the pain. Lita came to the realization that part of Kosh may have survived within Sheridan. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
And you're a telepath?
Sure. What's the job pay?
Well, it's not a job. It's more like an adventure.
So they're trying to find as many telepaths as they can to go on ships. But any humans, I would have thought, I'm assuming he's human, but I would have thought they'd be part of the Psi Corps, or they'd be Psychops. So you're not going to have just normal telepaths wandering around.
Talking hourly or weekly salary?
And he's just after the money.
If you're a telepath, are you Psychor?
No, they missed me.
No.
What am I thinking?
I don't work for free.
What am I thinking?
I think we can always guess what he's thinking.
Got it. And I think you're real cute too. Need this job.
But you're not a telepath.
No.
I can learn. I'm a quick study.
Out.
I'll be an intern. I work cheap.
An intern. That's just a weird thing. I mean, no humans would be able to be used for this because they'd either be Psycho or Psychops, and they wouldn't be allowed to do this. So that makes no sense. Alien species, no idea how they cope or deal with telepaths, so no idea. But yeah, humans, that's a bit weird.
We're still sorting through the files and conducting interviews. I hate being this open about it.
Yeah, they really are now.
Telepaths as we can get if we're going to take on the Shadows.
Unfortunately, every time we tell them about that part, most of them quit instantly.
I mean, yeah, we saw that one-on-one. Well, with the Minbari, the one-on-one, they were able to hold a shadow ship in place. If they can get a couple of telepaths on board a ship, that makes them much more powerful. So yeah, they need as many as they can find. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, try to get them to sign up, earn some money by the sounds of it. Where the money's coming from. But then when they find out what's involved, yeah, they change their mind. But yeah, this is completely open now. They've sent a message out across the station. All telepaths come here. So yeah, any spies on board, Mr. Warden, that's going to really draw attention to what's going on.
Franklin was running an underground railroad for telepaths escaping Psychor a while back. He might be able to help us track down some of those people.
I've gone over these cables half dozen times. I can't find a problem.
That's a lot of cables. That must be a nightmare to work on that sort of stuff. big rats, very big rats. I mean, the openly calling telepaths there now and getting them to sign up, that makes Babylon 5 an even bigger target than it was before. I mean, basically, it's putting all the weapons in one place. Take out Babylon 5, you take out telepaths, the War Council, so people, you know, the organization for the fight against the shadows, key people involved. So, yeah, plan a big attack on that. You pretty much win, I think. For the shadows, they'd win. Ah, Minbar, I wasn't sure.
The loss of Ranger 1 was a great blow to us.
Ranger 1 was Sinclair.
I finished going over his room. I found only this.
What is it? There's medals?
He had very few possessions.
So I think the top one was the Battle of the Line, so that was obviously given to people who were there at the end of the war. And the middle one was Earth Alliance insignia, so that's obviously from Babylon 5. And then the bottom one was his Ranger clasp or whatever it is. So it kind of shows the 3 stages that he was proud of. So he defending Earth, working for Earth, and working on Babylon 5, and bringing people together in that way, and then as the head of the Rangers. That's interesting. Have they told people? I'm assuming not. They haven't told people what happened.
The loss of Ranger 1. There is one last issue.
What is the loss? Do they know how he's been lost?
The Rangers need a leader. Someone to guide.
So they think he just died?
You have my absolute confidence. If there is anything I can do.
I was thinking more of you. The Rangers were here because he was here. Where you are.
They will follow.
Please, say yes.
It's hard to know the sort of structure of the Rangers. I mean, who does decide who's in charge? I mean, who created them in the first place? Was it Delenn, or I'm trying to remember actually the initial creation of them? Who did it? I think it was Delenn, and obviously then Sheridan came on. Sinclair. Oh my God. Sinclair came on board as well. But I'd say I just don't know the command structure and how it all was set up. From what we've seen, she would be a natural choice to be the leader. But say there's a hell of a lot's probably happened in the background and that we don't know about or have heard about. So, not sure.
Morning, Chief.
Why has he got a gun?
Sorry to be late. I got held up down in Gray Sector. Kind of weird report. Is that what I think it is?
I thought the whole point of them having PPGs was because when they're fired, they fire a blast of energy, basically. So if they hit a wall, it doesn't create a hole in the wall and create a hole into space. Whereas that can. I would be surprised. Well, I would have thought a projectile weapon like that would be banned from the station. So how has he got one?
You want something that's going to burn through flesh without punching a hole in the hull.
Exactly. I would have banned all projectile weapons from a station.
They sent maintenance down to check it out.
Did they fix it?
Yeah.
You're right. That is unusual.
The guy who did the work disappeared. You want me to look into it?
No. I'll do it. I like mysteries.
Why would he do it? Sorry, just a missing person. You would have. I don't even. Zach would be doing it. Because he's a second in command. It would be just the guys lower down. There's probably no even reason for him to be reported it in this way. It'd be probably just written down in a daily report or something. That's a bit weird. What is it in that? It looks like tea. They had it last episode as well. Stephen was given one when he went to the bar. Is she looking for Stephen? She looks a bit conspicuous in her uniform.
Are you alright?
We don't look it.
Stim withdrawal.
Right.
Some drugs that the effects of withdrawal are immediate.
With stims, it's a little different.
I mean, this is going to sound too bad, but it's good that he's going through this because it means that he is coming off the stims, which is kind of one of the points of what he's doing, so that he can make himself feel better. So it's short-term pain for long-term gain, hopefully. But why is he going through it there on his own in that kind of place, which, let's face it, is a bit dodgy? The way that there were people in pairs hanging around, looking around, there's probably drug deals and all sorts going on down there. It's an awful place for him to be doing this. Why isn't he going through it in his quarters, or is he somewhere else with the support of his friends and professionals who can help him get through this? That's a bit weird.
We need to find them so that we can put together a tactical core group.
But the whole point is they couldn't be found. It's not great that he saved all the telepaths, all those telepaths from the Psi Corps, so they couldn't be used. And now she just said they're putting together a tactical group of telepaths and they want these telepaths to help them. It's kind of... It depends how they approach them. And I'm assuming they're going to ask them if they can help, and hopefully if they say no, that'll be it. Don't know. It seems a bit weird. I think I've said that a few times already. It's been a bit weird. There is some weird stuff going on in this one, the way they're doing things.
I can't do what I gotta do if you and Garibaldi are always following me around.
No, you need support.
Don't send anybody else after me.
It's not good to do this on your own. You don't need to do it on your own.
The only thing I can do now is to keep walking until I meet myself and somehow work this out.
That makes no sense. Get off the stims first and then go on your walkabout and find yourself, but get healthy first. Physically healthy. And then work on your mental health. It's dangerous doing this all together on his own.
And don't come back. No matter what.
That's really confusing. I kind of get his walkabout thing, trying to find himself, but that's kind of... that's his mental health. That's trying to find himself and find his purpose and sort himself out that way. But the stim stuff, whilst also has a mental side to it, the addiction side, but he's going through the physical side as well at the moment. So it would make more sense for him to cope with the physical side of the getting off the stims and then go and find himself, to cope with all this at the same time in a strange place, which isn't a nice place, on his own.
Yeah, we tubed down to the level below in case he fell through a bad panel, but nada.
Looks like he just vanished into thin air.
Thin air? Why is it always thin air?
Don't know. I might try and look it up.
Went through all 29 gray levels.
You mean 30. There's 30 levels in Gray Sector.
Nope, 29.
No, the schematics.
Say 30, I know. It's a mistake in the blueprint.
Well, that sounds suspicious that they've drawn attention to that.
Until now, the Rangers have only operated behind the scenes.
That role will change soon enough. Before that happens, they should receive some of the recognition they deserve.
And so much is out in the open now. It's kind of too late. Might as well just go for it. Increase public support for it all.
Congratulations, Delenn. Power beckons.
That's Minbari we've seen before, Naroon.
The religious caste begins constructing new warships without the knowledge or consent of the warrior caste.
You chose not to act. Someone had to.
They did choose not to
Even
act.
allowed Sinclair to train them, even though it meant diluting their purity by allowing humans to join alongside.
You have no idea.
The warrior caste should be given command of the Rangers. That was the law, as set down by Valen.
The irony of what he's saying. Well, yeah, so now all the work's been done, they've been created, they've been built up, the Rangers into a... there's lots of them, and now he wants to come along and take it all over, yeah. Because Valen said so.
You plan to take command of a military force and fill that vacuum yourself.
Yes?
You have no desire to rule our people.
I mean, from what we've seen, everything she's doing is for the protection of her people and all the other races. She's doing this to fight the shadows. That, again, from what we've seen, has been the only motivation.
propelled by prophecy into a position of military and political power. Always a bad idea.
That is true.
Out of respect, I give you this opportunity to walk away.
Else?
I am sworn to stop you, Delenn, by any and all means necessary.
I reckon they'll do paper, scissors, stone for it.
1, 2, 3. 3 seconds.
So it's 3 seconds. It takes 3 seconds for each, for the lift to travel each floor. So he said there were, the blueprints showed 30 levels, but she said there were 29. So he's testing to see if that's right. Okay.
Delenn, he's planning to kill you.
That is one interpretation.
He said he would use any and all...
He's necessary, yeah.
No Minbari has killed another in 1,000 years.
Yes, but if the Grey Council is gone and the rules have changed,
yeah.
what else has changed?
Exactly.
This is an internal problem, Lanier. If we cannot handle it on our own, then we shouldn't be here.
Oh, it's not an internal problem. It involves the Rangers and control of the Rangers. That's a huge, I was going to say global issue, but not even global, more than global, universal problem. That's not just Minbari. So, that's wrong.
I want your word that you will not tell him about this.
He didn't say yes. We bowed. He didn't say yes, I give you my word. I hope nobody else wants to use that lift.
1, 2, 3.
6-ish seconds. So there's a floor. Grey 17 is missing. That's actually level 18. How could that be? And how would no one have ever noticed that before? It's impossible. That's crazy.
Grey 16.
A whole floor.
2. Emergency stop.
This is not a valid level designation. Safety procedures require...
Security override.
Yeah, he can do it. I'm assuming, yeah, that control panels for the lift's broken, so... Well, he should have called for some security help. Because if anything happens to him now, no one will ever find him, in theory. I don't understand this about the station. When it was built, space is such a premium on the station. Everything would have been allocated and set up and done properly, just because it has to be. They can't have a load of room and space just not being used. That's why I don't understand down below. I don't understand how they could have that area, that space that's... It would be used for a purpose. It would have been allocated a purpose. They wouldn't just have an area of the station like that just being used. Unfortunately, people are homeless and displaced like that. It just wouldn't happen. Not on a space station like that. I don't understand it. How can an entire floor go missing? That is unbelievable. He said the blueprints showed there were 30 floors, so it would be seconds to look at the blueprints and to see, okay, well, on 16 we've got these rooms are on there, that they can check that very quickly, and on 18, which would be the 17, we've got these rooms. Oh, hang on. So what's this in between? We're missing that. It's seconds to spot something like that.
You're in trouble.
It's a bit freaky. And that's why you should have called it in as soon as you got there. Knockout dart. Well, at least they should be able to track that now. Bit weird.
I've never seen your quarters before. Very restrained.
Sparse.
It was the best Ivanova could find, given how tight we are for space.
I promised Delenn that I would not speak of this to the captain.
Well, you didn't. You just nodded.
She did not mention you by name. Since you are not in the chain of command, he may not find out about this, and I will not have broken the promise.
Very logical.
If a Minbari from one caste even tries to kill another, then it could even cause a civil war between the castes.
So you're looking for a non-Minbari to stop him?
Right. Yeah, so if Naroon did try and attack, and a Minbari, Lennier, let's say, got in the way and tried to stop him and killed him in the process, and a Minbari would have killed a Minbari, and that would create the problem that you just raised as well. But yeah, by bringing in Marcus, who is reliable, and he will protect Delenn. Yeah, good way of doing it. Yeah, it could create a civil war because it's such a big thing that Minbari doesn't kill a Minbari. It would split them, which would then stop them being a cohesive group to fight the Shadows. So yeah, it would be a huge disaster, not just for the Minbari, but for everybody if that happens. So yes, it's a big thing.
You need only delay him until the ceremony is complete.
Because it's too late then. His communication device is gone. He did get off a signal. Even if they didn't hear what he said, it would have registered a signal, so they should be able to track it. His gun's gone, of course.
I don't suppose this is the best time to point out you're all under arrest.
What for? Whoever shot him would be under arrest, but why would the others be under arrest?
Consider the hand.
Yeah, that's Robert Englund. Edward Scissorhands. God, what am I talking about? Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger.
Equations. All creation.
Well, he seems stable.
My name is Jeremiah. Welcome to the end of the world.
So this is a sort of cult. He comes across as a cult leader.
How many more did you say we've got coming in?
Ah, all the Rangers are coming there. Again, good time to attack.
That is why they nearly defeated us in the war, you know. Because they are closer to the truth than we are.
No, they had more powerful ships.
Speaking of getting free, there has to be a way out of here.
No, there's bound to be a way out. Well, there has to be a way out because that guy at the beginning got dragged down. So it must have been one of them, I'm assuming, who dragged him down. He was on floor 16. So there has to be a way to floor 17. No, sorry. He was dragged down from floor 16, so that means there has to be a way up to floor 16 because they dragged him down. So, yeah, there is a way out, at least one. But if an entire floor is hidden, there's bound to be lots of ways out.
We are the universe. The universe made manifest.
We're part of it.
Broke itself into pieces to examine every aspect of its being.
So what, they're kind of thinking we're like the atoms within a human body, but in this case the body is the universe. But we're sort of like the tiny little atoms that are part of it, that make up the body of the universe. In some ways I think we are, that's quite true, just not sure about the sentient part.
Because purity of form and purity of intent, purity of execution. The only way the door will open.
What door? And he's talking about purity, which is never a good sign. So what? They're going to do something for the ceremony. But again, if they are, that means there is implies there's a way to get there, which means there's a way off the floor.
You shouldn't get involved in things that don't concern you.
It does concern him.
Then your quarrel is with me.
I thought he had a stick. Staff.
I invoke Den Shah.
To the dead. During the war, I killed 50,000 of you. What's one more?
Poof. But did he kill them hand to hand, or just in a ship?
I was taught the pike by Durhan himself.
Really? So was I.
And I'd say Marcus has an age advantage on him. Although I don't know about Minbari more physically stronger than humans. I can't remember. I don't think we've. Oh, really not sure. I don't know if they are physically stronger or not. But yeah, I'd say Marcus has a slight advantage in speed and agility due to age and just the way he is. Don't know. If they've both been trained by the same person, I have got a feeling the Minbari perhaps are a little bit stronger, so they're probably fairly even.
Where's Marcus? I thought for sure he'd be here.
I don't know. Something must have come up.
Making sure it goes ahead. God, I must have taken some practice. They were pretty much going hard in then. You've got to wash your fingers. So they're holding the staff like that, and if they're hitting forward, they could catch their fingers, and that, yeah, could be a nightmare.
Mike, may I call you Michael?
Probably not.
Ever since you shot me with that drink, I've been having these cramps.
Find Ezekiel.
Is he putting it on?
Now it's...
Now he'll take out the one guy on his own. Yeah.
You show me the door out of here.
He couldn't take out two of them, but he could take out one. But he was sweating. It didn't look like he was not 100%. Even though he knows Marcus is on it, he's still looking around just to make sure nothing goes wrong. So he's basically the backup.
Step aside, and I will pretend that you ran away.
Oh, he's not going to do that. Oh.
We stand on the bridge, and no one may pass. We live for the one. We die.
That's a bit Gandalf. You shall not pass.
You shall not pass.
Okay, looks like Naroon's got the advantage at the moment.
Two of your ribs.
Ooh. Ooh.
Sorry. Make that free.
So why do it? For her.
Yeah.
We live for the one. We die for the one.
How can he take over an organization that venerates her as its leader, and they'll die for her? They wouldn't die for him.
This belonged to the worker who disappeared. You do this?
No. We do not believe in violence.
Oh. So who did?
He must have gotten in here somehow.
Exactly.
So there must be a way out.
Yes.
You still do not understand, do you?
Well, if they didn't do it, who did? Ah.
The only way out is to find a purity of purpose, a purity of thought.
No, it's just to find an open door and go through it.
We choose to return to the universe through that perfection, through the Tsar.
So they sacrifice themselves.
That's one of the most dangerous aliens in the whole sector.
So what, they kind of spend all the time together trying to be part of the universe, and when they think that they are ready, they go to this creature and sort of sacrifice themselves to the universe? I think that's what he's saying.
So, among the Rangers, let her be known as Until...
Oh, he didn't finish the word, which I assume means he could still stop it.
I do not think they would die for me, but they would die for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Until Tsar.
Ooh. So does that mean she's got his back in, or just at least not his? Or at least he's not fighting against her. Let's go break off a steam pipe. Gonna give it a tan.
Damn it, I just said something, anything.
So he's got bullets but no gun. Is he gonna do something with steam to fire bullets?
Well, you see,
Ooh, putting so many. I try to think what he's gonna do.
We only got one chance. Assuming this doesn't kill us before it...
Yeah, that's more likely. No, that's more likely to explode in his hand and blow his arm off. Well, hand off at least. Still alive.
It should never have been allowed to happen. Not for my sake.
If not for yours, then who else?
Exactly.
I think this is the one thing about your position you do not yet understand. But for the greater part to live, some must die.
Well, she does understand that, because that's what happened with Narn. They sacrificed the people on Narn for the greater good, and she was part of that, so she does understand it.
Did you come to finish what you started?
If I had wished him dead,
He'd already be dead. Yeah, exactly.
Den Shah, you said. To the death.
They're both alive.
To be willing to die for one of my kind, when I was intent upon killing one of my own. The rightness of my cause disappeared.
So that died within him.
That we are not of the same blood. That we are of the same heart.
Yeah.
The next time you want a revelation, could you possibly find a way that isn't quite so uncomfortable?
That's going to build a few bridges.
We had an assault on Marcus. Someone got into the Rangers ceremony.
And where were you?
And where were you?
The entire 17th floor of Gray Sector had completely disappeared, and there was a dummy that shot tranks out of its eyes.
Yeah, I'd lock him up.
Czar came in, and either it was going to kill me or I was going to kill it, and... Am I going too fast for you?
Yeah, just a bit. Alright, so there were some nice touches to this episode, but the floor was missing. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. A room, okay, I could kind of go with that. Even a couple of rooms, maybe even a corridor. I could probably go with that, but an entire floor doesn't make sense. Plus, that creature, he said it was one of the most dangerous creatures in the sector, I think. It looked pretty brutal, had big claws, literally Freddy Krueger claws. And it attacked that guy and pulled him down and killed him. There was no body. I'm assuming it ate him. I don't think that's an unreasonable assumption. It had to eat something, and it had big teeth, so I'm assuming it ate him. The pickings were fairly small on that floor, only that cult, there weren't that many of them. So if that creature could pull that guy, that maintenance guy down, I would have thought it would have escaped and it would be attacking on the rampage. That's where people are. That's where its food is. It would go for the food source. Lots of people. So that doesn't make sense how it would just be staying down there in that one location. That doesn't make sense at all. I didn't like that whole missing floor bit, but the Neroon coming up against Delenn made sense that would happen. As I say, he comes along at the end when it's all been set up just to take control. I can imagine the Warrior cast would do that. And yeah, for Marcus to stand there and put himself in front of him and willing to die for her, that gave Neroon the realization that they would die for her, but they wouldn't die for him. She is the right person to be doing it. What does that mean going forward? I'm assuming he speaks for the Warrior cast? He was on the Grey Council, so I'm assuming he has that kind of authority. Yeah, he must do. So that could be quite a big thing, because he called her Entilzar, so he's basically deferred to her now as the leader of the Rangers. He is on board with that, so yeah, interesting. Yeah, so weird episode. Didn't like the whole missing floor bit, but the other side of the story with Delenn, now Ranger 1, that was interesting. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.